Alright, welcome back to the stream. Finishing up this expedition. A few things left to do, like Mirror's Bird kills, mainly vultures. Last time when I left off, I was at lower karma and I had more Mirror's Birds to kill. So I've done some of those because it was a little bit repetitive, going back and forth just to get a handful of Mirror's Bird kills every cycle, just to not risk like too many other creatures piling up. But I still have a few left to get. In this run, I have the burdens hunted and pursued on, which means that hunted means that all creatures know which room I'm in. All creatures in the region know which room I'm in. And the pursued burden means that there is a creature, I believe a red centipede, that always knows my exact location and is always trying to hunt me down. Since my goal right now is to get Mirror's Birds, there is a decent chance that one of those other creatures shows up. It makes this more difficult. But getting Mirror's Bird kills are fairly easy with explosive spears. The real difficulty is if any other creatures might show up. Because they know my location, they're very determined to find me. Even if they originated from the opposite side of the region. So it's nice that I found a Mirror's Bird immediately, but still need to find one more. Okay, this might be a mistake. Yeah, they've already left. Expedition is cool, especially with the perks. You get to play with more abilities than you usually have access to. Like you can choose to play with Rivulet's mobility or Artificer's double jump. But I don't know, it becomes a little bit overpowered. You just stack up every single Slughat's ability. I'm currently playing with only a handful of perks, allowing passages, karma flowers, and starting with the neuron glow. So I'm just waiting for Mirror's Birds. The problem is that the longer that I spend waiting, the more spiders and like centipedes are gonna pile up in this room back here. I believe this is one of these. This is a room that other creatures don't like going into. So they end up piling up right in this entrance because they know that I'm in this room, so they want to come in to get me, but they don't like staying in this room. So they'll group up. This is why I chose to get a few of the Mirror's Bird kills off stream. So it's just kind of sitting around waiting for them to show up. Oh, hello. Okay. I'm going to stay in a shelter before I die and have to do this over again. So there's a decent chance that there will be spiders over here. Well, yep, that's what I said. Decent chance of spiders. Sometimes they just insta kill you. Hopefully it takes less time to get the mirror spirits. That was a weak jump. Up that. So they're already here this time. Well, they showed up pretty quickly last cycle too. That's unfortunate. Actually fast enough to keep up with them, but I'm not finding any of their spears. If this guy sticks around. Yeah, at least I was able to get one of them. Still need to find another spear. This works. Expedition mode is basically you start in a random shelter and you have a bunch of goals to complete. So kill Miros birds, black lizards, earn points. I've chosen like mostly hunting challenges, but there's like a decent variety of them, like seeing echoes or delivering pearls or collecting items in a shelter. And it is unlike story mode because you are not able to complete the normal objectives. Well, you might be able to, I don't know. But like Artificer's whole quest of like going to Metropolis, I don't think you can do that. Well, I think you can, actually no, because I don't even have the drone that's following me around, so I probably won't even be able to access that gate. More waiting for one to show up. I missed it. If you want to see the some of like the perks, I've played with a lot more of them in my other expedition mode streams. You can find those VODs. But I don't think I'm going to be playing with the perks this stream. So I want to try to keep it somewhat challenging and not just like completely effortless. Okay, let's actually get out of here successfully this time. Probably help to make a few grenades. And of course, now that I'm not looking for them, they're gonna show up. That Mirrorsport actually got one of those spiders. Honestly, Artificer with Rivulet mobility isn't even that good because Rivulet already, keep mixing up their names. Artificer is already really mobile. You don't need to move any faster. This is just wonderful. Somehow I survived that. Yeah, like Artificer already has really good mobility, so you don't really need to make it better. But Gourmand could use the extra mobility, right? So, oh come on, there's just, see, that's the problem with this challenge. All the spiders have just group up when they're trying to hunt you. Now I gotta do more mirror bird kills. See, it's just doing this over and over again. Anyway, with like, if Gourmand gets extra mobility from perks, then they can really take advantage of some of their abilities. Like landing on creatures, it can be sometimes it can be a bit difficult because you need to get a bunch of height where you can land on creatures, and you climb poles pretty slowly. You might have to deal with low stamina. But if you have the double jump, that's like a really good way to get up really high to land on creatures. Although I'm still probably not going to play Gourmand. Keep in mind that after I get these mirror birds finally, I'm just going to have to hunt like 12 vultures. I also stockpile the explosive spears, so that I may have a chance to get multiple mirror birds. Just checking both of these rooms. Spiders would probably be easier to deal with if I actually had a spear back in that start of the first room. Okay, they really don't want to show off. Whenever you go through memory crypts normally, there's tons of mirror birds. It's been a while since I've played Gourmand, because I don't actually really enjoy it that much. I think I heard them just leave. Oh. I guess something that's kind of important to know, or that kind of helps to know, is that rolling, or doing like roll. Okay, so this movement strategy, backflip, roll, and pounce. I can't do it. These birds. I really didn't kill it, or did it not just... I think it just didn't show anything. That's dead. Just got this one for food. But I'll show you here. You do backflip, roll, pounce. That movement, as Gourmand, is still decently fast, even if you're tired. So if you're in a bad situation and you need to get out without any stamina, you can use that. Usually there's not this many spiders. Oh, that's a big spider. So I have to get out of here. Rolling is actually pretty stamina efficient. The real problem is jumping out of the roll. So if you do a roll, you can do a pounce out of it, and that's what usually costs stamina. So if you just don't jump, same with sliding. I really don't want to die to these spiders again. So if you just roll repeatedly without jumping out of it, or slide repeatedly as Gourmand, that's pretty fast. It doesn't really cost that much stamina unless you jump out of it. That's a sizable centipede. Yeah, as long as I can just get out of here. Finally done with that. So I think I'm going to passage to Chimney, since that is the last objective, mostly stuff in Chimney Canopy. And hopefully I'll find a vulture grub and not kill it on accident. I still have I've yet to figure out how to do that. Okay, that worked. So Chimney Canopy, you've seen the last stream I did of this expedition. It's kind of an awful place. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to keep my vulture mask after. There's already 2 red lizards. I think it speaks for itself. Now they're fighting each other. I guess I could set other quest. That last Lion Lizard I needed. Can't find any spears. Okay. Decent chance of running into something right off screen here. Scavengers, of course. Pretty explosive spear. Okay, of course there's a bunch of elites and stuff over there. Being pursued. This area is pretty safe until a vulture shows up. Well, there's the vulture. Hopefully it attacks the scavengers and not me. Okay, now I just don't have a spear anymore. This is not ideal. If I could just find a good opportunity to get through that pipe. There's just one scavenger up there now. God, there's a king vulture. The moment I have an opportunity to go through. Oh, they got a lizard. Whoops. Wall pounce there. Sir retreats. That means they are died in some way. I think they can also respawn. I don't know if they can respawn within a cycle, but they always come back eventually. Anyway, this visual effect is because I have the echo activated, which hopefully makes this last hunting challenge a lot easier. But I'm still going to shelter. Nice one. I want to test something real quick. Goodbye. Okay, here's the strategy. Unfortunate. I like this mask though, but I don't. Yeah, I'm stuck. I don't want a king vulture. This is the real difficulty of the vulture hunting challenges. It's finding regular vultures instead of king vultures. No vulture that time. For some reason. I have an echo activated nearby. That's why there's a filter on the screen right now and particle effects. And any creatures within the radius of a come on. All the creatures near the radius of an echo just kind of become disabled like this. They aren't able to move. They're all king vultures. What is up with this? I mean, I guess I need one of them for food eventually. This is gonna take forever, isn't it? Regular vulture. This, I don't know about finishing this expedition. I'm just gonna be doing this for like half an hour. Oh, okay. Yeah, eventually they're just gonna run out of vultures in this area. Thing is that the next room over, I don't think they're affected by the echo. Yes, I feel like sometimes the amount of creatures that you need to kill is a little bit unbalanced for some of the expedition challenges. Like if a challenge is like kill like 13 pink lizards, that's not really a problem. I can do that. But 13 vultures is significantly more difficult and time consuming, especially when there's also king vultures. Okay, I guess that's all of them. Even if I go to a different room. So I feel like the amount of kills that you need to get should change based on the creature. And I know that they do take that into account for the red creatures, like red lizards, red centipedes. But like nothing else. Like I also had to kill, what, 13 mirror spirits. It seems like for the level of difficulty I'm at, 13 is the number of creatures that I have to kill for each of the hunting challenges. But it's the same amount regardless of the creature type. So 13 black lizards is pretty easy. 13... Oh, I just need to eat one of them. 13 vultures, not much. 13 leviathans this cycle. That would take forever. You know, I actually tried to in my Gourmand video, I tried to find a single leviathan to kill with the singularity bomb, and I could not find any in all of Shoreline. So I had to kill the one in Subterranean because that's guaranteed for all the slug cats. I couldn't find any in Shoreline. I don't know if that's because Gourmand spawns just like doesn't include a leviathan, or if I just got unlucky. But if it took that long just to find one leviathan, if you had to kill like 13. I'm actually going to head over to area past the echo. Just to fight some vultures normally, instead of cheesing every single one of them. I believe it is in this room where they no longer are affected. Yes, and there's already a king vulture. That's just great. That's also wonderful. Thank you. Thing is that not even an explosive spear is enough to kill king vultures. And I meant to throw that upwards. Even with infinite explosive spears, can't get a single king vulture kill. People usually say that killing king vultures is easy. I don't know why. Like, oh, just dodge the harpoons. And the echo's not even here anymore. If I wanted to choose it. Although I might not even finish this expedition. I'm just gonna be doing this the whole time. And I'm pretty much always going to find king vultures. I feel like there's a little too many king vultures compared to regular. And then they do weird stuff like this. And not even approach you. Sometimes it feels like they fire earlier than normal, or they aim ahead of where you're moving. Sometimes it's super easy to dodge them just by like moving back and forth. Sometimes they sort of predict where you're moving. And I've yet to find another normal vulture. The king vulture. Where's they get the other harpoon back? Yeah, come down here now. Didn't even hit that one. Another king. Oh, and now a normal one shows up, and I'm out of spears. Thank you. No way that counted. Yeah, of course it didn't. Another king. Who knows where that regular vulture went? I was end up just hitting their masks instead. Let's do something else. I don't want to just have a stream just be an hour of dying to king vultures. Like it's actually like 70% king vulture. I do have another plan though. I did want to continue do another hunted expedition, but with the Spearmaster instead, since they're also combat oriented. Although I think I'm going to try a few more, maybe something like this, like more random challenges instead of just hunting ones, because that kind of ended up just being farm this creature out for an hour and then go to this region, farm this creature for an hour. How about this? Bit of variety in which regions to go in. Shaded and farm arrays. Actually, I need to change that one. No way I'm gonna carry pearls around as the Spearmaster. I just realized which character I'm playing as. I like that one. Chieftain's fun as Spearmaster. And importantly, Haunted. I think I want to also go for Blinded instead of Pursued, because Blinded kind of changes the creature spawns, so it'd be interesting to see how that looks with Hunted as well. And the same perks. So yeah, some of these: high agility, crafting, explosive jump, if you want to get some of the abilities from the other slug cats. So yeah, let's start this one. It's been a while since I've played Spearmaster. Just normally, without having to worry about the quest. We're in farm arrays. So I'll head down to the I need a Spore Puff to get out of here. I'll head down to the Echo. Wait, I can just go here. I always forget that there's a hole there. They only give half? Something I don't really understand about Spearmasters, why they get so much less food than the other slug cats. Like, small centipedes are usually 2 food pips for like all the other slug cats, even Gourmand. And then you play a Spearmaster, they're only worth half. Is that a gun? Yeah, one of the perks is a gun. So will there even be deer? Maybe I could have thrown one. the spitter spider over there. Suppose I'll try to get it. Goodness, the whole crew showed up. What, like three red spiders there? Let's try to get out of here. Oh, there's already a deer. That's nice. Looks kind of strange in the darkness. Usually you don't see deer. All right, let's get moving. It actually started moving. That never happens. But I have a feeling that when I get to the end of these worm grass, it's just gonna be like 20 creatures in one room. Usually it's what happens when I'm being hunted. No, usually the deer don't have a problem with like needing to feed them multiple times. Sometimes you can get on them without having to feed them at all. Like the more important thing that the spore puffs do is actually like lowering them to the ground so that you can grab onto them. And also maybe increasing their reputation so that they're more willing to actually carry you. So it's not the end of the centipedes yet, or the worm grass yet. You have to deal with the centipede. Out of it. Leaves though. Hey, come back. Okay, that deer just did not care. I suppose it's also possible to get through here without the deer. I'll try that. Not if I do a horrible jump like that. Okay, that was still really floppy, but it still worked. I'm actually gonna hold on to one of these cherry bombs. It's decent for like dealing with a big crowd of creatures. Make them run away. Is this the blinded burden? Yes, it is. And also hunted. Blinded and hunted. So that way there's going to be different creature spawns. And they all know my location. It also just makes everything look different. So I'm going to head down here and activate this echo. I also need to get food eventually, since you don't start as much. Yeah, only have 2 on the small centipedes. This could be a problem. Yes. Oh, wait. Okay, I just barely missed that lizard. Yeah, they're worm grass. I think there's a popcorn plant by this shelter, so I can just use that. This worm grass just eat something. Oh, and also this area is pretty good for scavenger reputation, since there's a bunch of pearls and a scavenger toll in the next region. Actually, yeah, I just need to go grab this echo. Actually, no. I don't even have enough karma for that to be active, so I'll just spend a few cycles hunting. I guess I could just spend one cycle hunting, give me enough food to so that's unfortunate. Enough food to sleep multiple times. Kind of disappointing that this is the best Spearmaster movement tech. For everything that the other Slugcats have, this is Spearmaster's gimmick. Actually, I could grab onto that Squidcada. It's nice. You can actually fly with Squidcada. Spearmaster's light enough. You can just do this. Slow fall and descent. Although, a bit slow. I didn't even get food from that. Well, yeah, normal movement is already pretty good, but all the other Slugcats have some sort of movement ability that's better than default. Even Gourmand can be slow at times, but they have a really long slide and roll. Okay, where is everyone? Do I have to fight a vulture for food? Or did all of the lizards immediately go down into the worm grass? Try fighting vultures. More vultures, what a joy. That's dead. It's not dead. Well, it's not gonna do anything down there. Of course, it's a king vulture. Of course, I missed both of my spears. Typical Rain World activities. And not flew away. Nope. Not yet. It's just gonna fly away now, isn't it? No? It's not done yet. While it's done, now is a good time to actually get food from this. As long as they're alive. They're probably dead now. No? They're very, very, very durable. Now I have a mask. Okay, let's not get grabbed by the worm grass. I don't even know what just happened. Tried to use that explosive spear, but it kind of looks like the vulture just did not care at all. Also, this is the worst place for worm grass. It's right where you should start climbing the pole from. Okay, that's a pretty good cycle. I think it's about to rain. Yes. Somehow it gets even darker than it already was. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I just got pushed down the pipe. I would not like to deal with this lizard in there. You want to leave? So just gonna be in there. Just immediately get outlaw. It's one of the few passages you can get in a single cycle really easily. Thought they would be stunned for longer. There's a karma flower in here. Well, I think there's a karma flower gone. He's definitely not my friend. We just happen to end up in the same shelter. But now I'm stuck. Hopefully the karma flower is still there. Nope, it's gone. That's unfortunate. Apparently they're just stuck in this shelter now. And I really needed that karma for this echo that I'm trying to get. So that was all just kind of awful. I feel like there's usually a lot more creatures in farm raise. This is with the hunted. burden. I actually need good reputation with scavengers. No, none of the other floodcats have stamina other than Gourmand. Or if you starve, then you have to deal with stamina. I feel like there's usually a lot more creatures in farm arrays. Okay, I'm just going to shelter now. I can shelter twice to get up to max karma so I can see the echo. I believe you can gain reputation for giving them these spears. Which means that you should be able to get scavenger in a single, or chieftain in a single cycle. Which I actually kind of want to try out. When I head into outskirts, there's going to be a scavenger toll. I just give them... This guy's still in here. Does that count as a social cycle? My karma went up. They're dead. I don't think I'm gonna get them out of the shelter now. Hello, welcome to the stream. Doing another expedition. Finishing the next goal real quickly, the farm raised echo. It was only until pretty recently where I found out about this route to the echo. Just by going along these bottom tunnels. It's a lot faster than going above, and you don't have to deal with any creatures. Except for maybe like a spider or something if it comes down here. Yeah, only a few rooms to the echo. Fortunately, I can't increase my max karma, but still counts towards... I was actually just stuck for a second. Can't move. Oh. There we go. Get out of here. Never again. So I'd like to try this cycle to get Chieftain in a single cycle. There's like a ton of pearls in this room. Oh, I'll keep the mask over there. Fortunately, they're busy fighting that green lizard, so they might be distracted. That scavenger dropped their spears and then immediately picked them back up. And I accidentally killed the scavenger. I mean, I was trying to hit the green lizard. You guys kill each other all the time. Okay, that one accidental kill was enough, and I'm stuck in the worst shelter again. I wish they fixed this hole even more. I know they changed the room layout so that it would. I'm stuck again. They changed the room layout so that it was a bit longer, and you wouldn't immediately be inside the toll the moment you left the pipe. But there's still a ton of lizards in that room. So you end up like dealing with lizards at the same time as the scavengers. I do stream at the same time. Not every day. But, well, just the time that about an hour ago from now is when I start. See if the scavengers are distracted again. They definitely saw it that time. So let's see if I just keep dropping spears here. They already have plenty of spears, so they don't really need more, but it might still count. I don't know. I know I can cross the toll. Okay, let's see how much progress that gets. Alright, music is not playing. It kind of makes sense if you had positive scavenger reputation at the start of a playthrough as Spearmaster. I think that makes sense. Like you provide them with the spears, so they like already have a good rep with you. But that's not the case. They attack you on sight. It's probably the same as Hunter. This is what it's like to be hunted. Just mess. Just chaos. I almost just killed the scavenger. Also, it's risky to stand there because there's a chance to get stabbed immediately. What did I just say? Okay, maybe I should not go for Chieftain. I should just run through as fast as possible so that they don't pile up like that. And so I don't have to keep respawning in that shelter. Sometimes people ask for advice on how to on expedition mode, but I don't think I've even figured out how to do it yet. I still die plenty of times to the same areas over and over again. As long as you don't lose too much karma, you're still going to be fine. Here's what I'll do. 1 pearl. I could have just grabbed 2. I'll just leave that other pearl there. I need to get going. I need to get going. Love to help them out with that vulture, but there's a risk of being stabbed from a distance. Ow. I just stabbed the scavenger again. That didn't even help at all. Yes. Large centipede. But also food. I missed. I have completed every campaign. I see you. My favorite is probably the Saints. I'm never getting out of here. Because most of the other campaigns have some aspect to them that I did not enjoy. Yeah, fast pole climbing has this kind of rhythm to it. Once you like have the muscle memory to do that consistently, you're good. So if I die again, I have to use a passage to refill my karma. I tried to jump over those centipedes, but one of them grabbed me last second. And then I tried to throw a spear at it to release myself, but then that ended up just making me fall. It's the worm grass. Learn your movement tech in arena. Yeah, some of it. Sometimes you just need to like kind of grind out the motion for a bit, and then once you get familiar with it, you could just repeat whenever you have a good opportunity in game. Because you don't really want to learn how to do it in game. You're just gonna make mistakes and slow yourself down. But once you get familiar enough with it to be at least somewhat consistent, you can start using it all the time to practice it. Because pole climbing, fast pole climbing is really risky. Because there's a decent chance, if you're not consistent at it, there's a decent chance you just fall off, or you just jump straight off the pole. Which it's not good in some like more dangerous areas where you can fall to your death. Hello. Funny how you can get food off of creatures that are being grabbed by other creatures. Okay, what is this? How did that spear miss? Vulture. Canopy. That's a very fancy looking blue lizard. Sucks that it's dead now. Is that this one aggressive? No, it's running away. That is enough food. I would like to get to a shelter immediately. Although this isn't the most direct path. This would be a lot easier if I just kept the one karma flower I started with. Dropbricks are funny like that sometimes. They'll completely ignore you if they haven't found a good hunting spot yet. That's a droplet. But also, they will sometimes actively start hunting you. That was just rolling the dice over and over and over again. Any of those could have failed and I would have died instantly. Which is especially surprising since dropwigs have one of the highest kill chances out of any creatures. It's like 80%. So that was just 80% chance like 3 times in a row and I somehow survived. Hello? Move out of the way, please. Okay, here's the shelter. That's all I wanted to get. Yes, the guardian skip is fixed. Or at least a few of them. There are still ways to do it. But the guardian skip of like entering partway into the room and then leaving it and then like to unload the guardians, that doesn't work anymore. That's already half progress towards chieftain. If I stuck around and gave them a bunch of spears, I probably would have made it. Yeah, I think when they drop down from the ceiling, it's a 20% chance, but then when they're on the ground and they do a jump, it's a 80% chance to kill. I never really learned how to do guardian skips. I thought that the any percent route was kind of lame. Because the depths, like, everything past the depths is just kind of annoying to play and slow. So I thought, like, why would you want to do a run that's mostly depth? Because you go from outskirts, which is a bunch of karma caching, to drainage, which actually I do enjoy drainage system. It's one of my like favorite parts of the run because it's super consistent, and there's like no creatures to deal with except like one salamander. But then you go to filtration system, which is blind and kind of RNG. Like, is there going to be a mole lizard in the way? I don't know. And then depths, which just takes a long time and is slow. And the void sea, which is like, I mean, I don't know if you have to complete the void sea for speedruns. Because I think they might have changed the timing so that you don't have to do void sea. I hear a red lizard. I see a red lizard. Let's get out of there. Yeah, they added a red centipede to the filtration system as a survivor. I think it's in one of the new rooms, so there's kind of a low chance of seeing it in the route that you normally go through for the old any percent route. But yeah, there could be a red lizard down there. A lot of fun. Which it also may be in the darkness. If you, depending on if you have a lantern or neuron light. Hello, green lizard. Probably gonna head over to Shaded now. Since the last few like quests that I need are one isn't Shaded, one is the spiders, and then Chieftain I can get pretty easily just by giving spears to scavengers whenever they show up. And creatures guilds I'll just get over time. That's a centipede. That's an even bigger centipede. And they all left. I didn't even get any points. I've talked about this on an earlier stream. I don't know if any of you heard it, but I kind of like this. I kind of like the idea of the. I have this idea for a reworked Spearmaster. That basically just means much faster spear generation, but lower damage and like less food gained per hit, so that they become more of like a rapid fire throwing spears constantly, and it'll also be less of a problem that if you're holding on to another item and you only have one hand open for spears, because you can generate a spear quickly, so you only need the one hand to throw them at a decent rate. That's just my idea though. I don't actually have to make a mod. I don't know how to make mods yet, so I don't know, maybe I'll mess around with that eventually, but maybe half the time, I don't know. That's something that I'd have to like adjust and fine tune with like playtesting. But for the concept, I guess half the time to generate a spear. That's interesting. The light here is orange instead of purple. So I'll just hold on to this explosive spear. Why do I hear turret music? For no reason. There's nothing here. If you could do the extended slide, do you know how to do the extended instant hop? That's where you start an extended slide and immediately jump afterwards. See if I can do one here. That was kind of it. think that was actually a variation where you do like a slide pounce at the end, but that wasn't ideal either. It's a very precise timing to get the most speed out of it. That was a little closer. It's still alive. Somehow. I thought Spearmaster did more spear damage. Extra hard on controller, yeah, I think that's the case. You have to hold backwards and forwards within a few frames. Just through everywhere in this room. Hello. So I'm pretty close to getting the amount of points I need. The backflip pole jump in outskirts. I know what you're talking about. I learned how to do that too, but I'm not very consistent at it at all. So I feel like it's mostly fast. Well, actually, there's a new way to do it now in Downpour, or specifically with remix mode, you don't need Downpour. Actually, I don't know if you're on console, I don't know if remix mode is out yet for that. Probably not. I got a red lizard kill. Like I said, it actually counted as that red lizard that was fighting another red. It got injured, so I was able to finish it off with a spear. Anyway, with remix mode, you can throw items upwards if you're doing a backflip. So if you can just store a backflip on that pole and then throw a rock, it gives you enough height to grab onto the pole above it. See if I can show that off. If there's any poles around here where I can do that. How about right here? So store a backflip so that you do a backflip off of the pole. Then you can throw upwards. I guess you can do this. Years. You know, actually, I'd like to know what you guys think about this. I play platformers pretty much exclusively with keyboard. There's a game with, like, well, I guess Rain World kind of counts. It's a platformer, but it has kind of strange, like, physics-based movement. But in other platformer games, like Celeste, for example, I use keyboard. I've heard from a lot of people that they recommend controllers for platformer games, and exclusively controllers. Like, oh, if you're like at a disadvantage if you use a keyboard, or that it feels more like intuitive or comfortable to use a controller. This is something that I've not really understood. I mean, I understand that if you use controllers often to play video games, you're just gonna be used to it, right? At that point, you know, you're already used to it. Switching to a keyboard would just be more difficult for you because it's just, you're not familiar with using that. I need to go this way, actually. But if you're familiar with using keyboard and controller, then it seems strange that you would prefer controller still. Mainly because, like, if you're moving in one direction and you want to change the direction that you're moving in, if you're on a controller, you have to move the whole analog stick, which it doesn't take that long, but it takes a small amount of time, which means if you want to make quick adjustments back and forth, you have to, like, move the whole analog stick with your thumb. But with the keyboard, you know, it's just a button press, and you just press between two buttons, and you have a finger for each like arrow key or WASD for each of those inputs. Why can't I get through here? There we go. And also for, like, jumping, I use spacebar for jumping in most games. And that lets me use the rest of my fingers for for other buttons to do whatever else, you know? But if you're on a controller, if you have one of the buttons as jump, you're using your thumb to press that button to jump, but then you also have to use your thumb to press a different button if you want to do some other action. Which is why when I use controllers, I usually use one of like the back buttons. What are they called? The bumpers. I usually use one of those buttons for jumping with my index finger at the back of the controller. So that way I have my thumb open for any other button. And even that, I wouldn't prefer using that over keyboard if I don't have to. But it's funny, I sometimes see people play platformer games, like live streamers, and their chat recommends, like, hey, you should play this game with a controller. It's better with a controller. That just seems strange to me. That's interesting. I've never heard someone using the arrow keys for the other inputs. I'm actually using pretty much the same thing, but swapped. I'm using the arrow keys for movement, and then WASD for the other things. Does A do anything? S is my throw key, and shift is my pickup key. Space for jump. Sometimes I use like WASD for other inputs in other games. You can do fast roll. Yeah, that's like a one advantage you have. You can do the fast rolls if you like hold down at a specific angle. But honestly, I feel like using rolling isn't even that good. Maybe fast rolls are worth it. But most of the time I try to avoid rolling because you're like doing another pounce right after a slide pounce. Like this is faster. And for any of the other slug cats, rolls are the same speed as normal, but their other movement options may be better. Like for Rivulets, it's pretty much always faster to just do a slide into a pounce. Whereas Gourmand, it's better to just slide constantly. For Artificer, it's better to honestly just explosive jump. And then the Saint kind of wants to avoid touching the ground at all, if possible. You'd rather be swinging around it. Okay, I think I'm gonna go the bottom route down. What is happening? I've never seen this before. Okay. Something weird was happening with the collision. It was just like constantly colliding with something, so it created the particle effects. I do need Chieftain. Actually, I'm gonna give this guy the mask. Because I'm not going to be dealing with many lizards from now on. I'm great at hitting things. There we go. Yeah, they can revive each other. You already didn't like spiders. They can revive each other in Rain World. This isn't good. Okay, they just completely ignored me. Oh, come on. The random chance again. I wonder what the chance is for a spider instantly killing you. Probably one of the other things I really don't like about Rain Worlds, the random kill mechanic. Whenever a lizard bites you or a vulture grabs you, like whenever any creature like grabs you, there's a just drop the lizard or the vulture mask to the floor. Whenever a creature grabs you, there's just a random chance that it kills you. And it does matter because there's a short window where you can throw a spear to release yourself. So if you have like a good reaction time, you can just immediately throw something to release yourself. But if you die instantly, you can't do anything about it. And I wouldn't mind if there was like a scavengers again. If there was like a health system. If you got bit by a creature, you would be kind of injured, the same as like Gourmand gets stunned, or no, Gourmand gets tired. The same way their exhaustion mechanic works, or like the Saint can get injured by stuff if like snails or snails. What else? Saint gets kind of stunned by most things that wouldn't normally kill you. If you were like guaranteed to survive being bit by a lizard but you were injured afterwards, I would probably prefer that over randomly dying. Gourmand never dies. Yeah, it varies between the slug cats. I think it might be the same with the monk. I'm not entirely sure, but Saint, I think Spearmaster is very likely to die, and Gourmand is, it's pretty much impossible for them to die unless it's like a red lizard. Funny thing is that the Saint used to be worse in the original many slug cats mod, or more slug cats, I never remember which one it is, but in the original mod where these new slug cats originated from, the Saint used to literally die to everything. If a squidcada hit you, you would die instantly. If a popig hit you, you die instantly. They also used to lose all of their karma when you died if you didn't have a karma flower. So yeah, they were kind of intended to be the like ultra hard mode of the game. Like, oh, they can't use spears to defend themselves, and they die instantly, and they can't keep their karma. You know, they were supposed to be like super difficult. But that was the old version. It's a lot easier now. You don't die instantly. Your karma works like normal. Okay, I thought I'd find more normal spiders down here. Centipede. A little bit of a shortcut. I have no idea where I am though. A lot of people say Saint is difficult, but I feel like it's one of the easier slug cats. Honestly, maybe that's because I'm good at movement, but I felt like it was like actually decently, because you can like you have such an easy time avoiding just literally everything. You have so much mobility. I've never seen this before. Where am I? Wait, actually, I have seen this before. I think I started an expedition here once. The spider literally just jumped across the whole room. Might as well shelter here. Never use pebbles as saints. Are you referring to rocks or pebbles the character? Pebbles means something different in Rain World. Ah, the scalp is back. Yeah, I actually really like Hunter too. Because in other game modes, when they don't have the time limit, it's basically like no gimmicks. Like there's nothing that makes them like a lot more difficult. And they're still very powerful. So they can hold an extra spear. Their spears do a decent amount of damage. They can eat food like normal. I don't really like how Spearmaster works with their food mechanic. Like, it's really easy on these kelp because you get 3 food out of each of them, when normally you wouldn't get any food at all. But you get less food on lizards if you... Like a blue lizard, for example, they usually give you 5 food pips, but a Spearmaster only gets 1 if you insta-kill them. And the Artificer is much stronger than Hunter, as in, like, they can make explosives and they can use the explosive jump for mobility. Is this guy gonna dodge the spear? Nope. But you also have to deal with scavengers. I usually try to befriend the scavengers, give them pearls, so that you don't have to worry about them, like, hunting you down constantly. But that's unavoidable as Artificer, and that alone wouldn't be too bad, except for having the fact that you have to drag them through Karmic Gates. At least for their campaign, and before you get any echoes, but you have to rely on them to get through Karmic Gates, which I find quite annoying. So Hunter is kind of just the Slugcat that's still pretty strong, but they don't have any immediate downsides, other than, I suppose, more difficult creature spawns, but I think that just makes the game more interesting. Get grabbed onto a batfly. Although sometimes the harder spawns are kind of a bit ridiculous when there's like 5 leaf lizards in a single room. Yes, Spearmaster does breathe through its tail. Maybe. It's not confirmed, but it's kind of confirmed. And it also makes sense, considering they don't have a mouth. There's the Hunter. 4 King Vultures. Breakfast. Oh, that's a mole lizard. What else do I have to do? So I need to find a Vista point somewhere in this region. I kind of don't like Vista points. They just appear randomly somewhere in the region. Nice slide through. You just have to kind of have to wander around until you eventually find it. Three spots they can spawn per region. Yeah, I have not learned what those 3 spots are for every single region. I know a few of them, but I'm not very familiar with Shaded. Oh, they just dodged all that. So I'm sure that if you played the expedition mode all the time, you would eventually just kind of learn where they all are. probably more spiders down here. Not just regular colescopedes. Is that one spider gonna try to revive all of them? There's a decent chance I die instantly if I go down there. I got it. If I could create any slug cat I wanted, what slug cat would I make? That's a tough question because there's like infinite possibilities. The shelter over here. I don't know. I'd probably have to spend a lot of time coming up with something. That's a big spider. Oh. I do need to find scavengers. Oh, I wanted him to stay in here. I think I'd like to create a slug cat that doesn't really have a downside. That's something I don't really like about the design of the new slug cats in Downpour. They always have something that's overpowered about them, and then something that makes them kind of suck. Like, let's make a slug cat that has like they can create bombs and they can double jump. But they there's like scavengers everywhere. Have fun. Or let's create like let's create this like a character that can create spears, but they can't hold anything in their stomach. And let's also give them a quest where you have to carry a pearl around the whole map. Yeah, that'll be fun. I usually prefer the movement-based slug cats, but I don't know if there's a interesting way to make to change up the movement other than like, because Rivulets already is pretty much like base game movement but better. Artificer is a double jump, right? Saint, it's a permanent grapple hook, grapple worm. So I don't know if there's like any unique ideas for movement, because the like base game movement is already really good. Might as well take this explosive spear. Trade it to the scavengers, maybe. See if I can kill this Mirror's Vulture. So the rivulet downside for me is having to go through the rot. Because like unfortunate development was already kind of awful. Let's just make it the whole region that. And also make it so that you have to go through 5 pebbles as part of their story. It's funny that you mentioned a slug cat with anti-gravity, because that's actually something I dislike about Rivulet too. Once you get the rarefaction cell, you are able to activate a low gravity mode, which is kind of annoying, I think. It makes your movement really floaty and kind of slow. And it's also like way too much. Like it kind of makes Downpour feel like a mod, which I mean it is a mod, but it makes it feel more like a mod. Like a bunch of people were just like, hey, let's give this slug cat that's already the fastest character in the game, and let's make them like jump twice as high. So I don't really like low gravity. It's kind of fun sometimes, but using it to navigate every single area in the game, it's like kind of annoying. Yeah, I kind of got distracted. Got to find the vista point. There's a decent chance it's like over by closer to shoreline. I'm going in the completely wrong direction. Or it could be over here. Actually, I have an idea for a slug cat. One that is based around electricity. I already like using jellyfish to fight. Maybe it could be some kind of like centipede slug cat. We can grab creatures and shock them. To stun them for a short time. Although I'd probably have to also have something more interesting than that. Or maybe like a stealth slug cat. Either like a dropwig or a white lizard sort of thing. Or scavengers. Hey. Despite my reputation being like half the way up to chieftain, they're still being aggressive. But it'd be interesting to see like an ambush type slug cat. What I think is happening right now is this red scavenger is probably the leader of the group, and it just happens to kind of hate me. And so that means that all of the other scavengers also are being aggressive towards me because it is what their leader. See, I'm helping you fight. I need to get out of here. And I accidentally took a spear, and he got mad and killed me. Well, I found the vista point. So I can just head over there. Maybe I'm gonna grab the pearl down here. And give that to the scavengers. Or maybe the scavenger merchant. That's actually a good idea. Creating spears as Spearmaster makes the scavengers mad at you? Or scared of you? Well, I was sitting there, and they were trying to throw spears at me before I created a spear. And even when I was creating more spears to give to them, they didn't seem to mind. Well, they definitely did mind. Nice jump. But they weren't, like, they didn't immediately start throwing stuff at me. That's my strategy for getting this pearl, by the way. Just want an easy way. I was kind of lucky. They almost got me with that. Nice. Here, take the spear chain. Alright, let's take fall damage on that. There's so many drop wigs. I didn't think there was this many drop wigs in shaded. Maybe that's for Spearmaster. There's another drop wig. I don't need your lantern, man. You can take it back. I feel like even as hunter, well, I don't usually go to shaded as hunters, so I guess I wouldn't know. Because going to shaded means I probably am trying to get to shoreline. I really want to go to shoreline as hunter. And usually there's like some tropics in this area, kind of closer to the entrance of the region. But that's also, it's probably still hunted, right? Some of the tropics that are further away know that I'm on like the other side of the region, so they came over there. But instead of like chasing me down all the way to, like, to the room I'm in, they decided to set up their ambush. How would you get this Vista point if you didn't have, like, spears? This only takes 2 spears. I don't really see any other way to get up here. I was wondering why is there this plant here, this fruit here? It's a dropwig. These actually get the scavengers like these, so. Yeah, that's enough, I guess. Well, I know that if you get a passage and then shelter, it counts the expedition as complete. A lot of creature kills. I've kind of wanted to try. Wait, it counts coelescipedes. 22 small spiders. That's interesting. I kind of wanted to try like a regular hunter score run, except with one of the new slug cats. You could do that with Jelly Co-op. I should show that right now. You can choose any character. Blinded was what was making the everything dark. It's kind of hard to tell because I wasn't already in shaded, but it basically turns every region into shaded. So now I'm in the start of the Hunters campaign, except I'm the Saint. So I might try to do a run. Not this stream. I'm gonna be ending soon, but I could do like a full-on score run as a different slug cat, which I've considered as Artificer. But I didn't like the idea of dealing with scavengers in a score run. I mean, I guess it means that's extra points, but I think the chieftain passage is worth it. You could throw a Saint. No. You can actually throw spears as a Saint in expedition mode, but I guess not in Jolly co-op. It'd be kind of interesting to see a score run with the Saint because, you know, fighting stuff is a lot more difficult. You have to find some creative ways to get points still. Although even in that, the Rivulet run that I did recently, I didn't get that many kills, but I still got a pretty good score because I got all the passages. So maybe it'd be easier to get passages as a Saint. So I might try this out eventually. But I kind of find score runs a bit annoying sometimes if you're trying to do them optimally. You end up restarting a bunch. If you die too early, you don't have enough karma to get through the gates. And then you have to waste cycles just farming karma when you could be making progress towards passages like the Wanderer or Nomad or Pilgrim. So I don't know. I might do that eventually. But yeah, gonna end the stream now. Thanks for watching, everyone. See ya.